I never masturbate, but I have tried several times. When I had a boyfriend with whom I had my first sexual contact, he was surprised that I didn't masturbate. So I went to ask my friends, and they all did it. The first time I tried it, I was 17 years old, and at that moment, I didn't like it. I didn't understand it. Still, it feels very strange. What the fuck am I doing? Goes through my mind. It feels very uncomfortable. When my boyfriend mentioned it, that was the first time I thought about it. Before then, it had never come into my mind to do it. With my first boyfriend, when I was just 15, I didn't even kiss for a year. For me, kissing was something very exciting. With masturbating, it was more that I thought I had to try it once, since it is apparently such a normal thing for everyone to do. During sex, I had very nice feelings, but it was not clear if I had an orgasm or not. As long as I cannot give myself an orgasm, I cannot recognize it during sex, I thought. So that was also a reason for me to try it. But I've never liked it. Sometimes I have these moments that I think I need to be able to do it, and then I try again. For example, when I was alone for a long time, I tried it again, but after that, I felt even more lonely. I have sensitive breasts. They're even more sensitive than my clitoris. With touching my breasts, I tried to build it up. That always feels very nice, but when I went with my finger towards my clitoris, I suddenly felt like, what am I doing? I also tried it once in the bath, as there I was relaxed. But that didn't work either. I also tried to watch female porn. Maybe that worked the most. Then I was wet and felt like having sex. But every time I try, the what am I doing thoughts take over and I lose what I feel. I think too much. Sometimes I have that during sex with someone, that my thoughts distract me from what I do. I feel ashamed that I don't masturbate. It seems like everyone is doing it, and I also have to be able to do it. When my friends talk about it, I cannot be a part of the conversation. I actually have nothing to say because I have zero experience. Boys also find it weird. I have never met a boy who doesn't masturbate. It's not that I'm really ashamed of it, but I think it's a little strange of myself. I know quite well what I like. In the meantime, I also have had orgasms, but I cannot control it very well yet. It is quite unexpected. If I would masturbate, I would probably have more control from knowing better what it feels like when I'm coming, and how I could build up the tension, just by having more experience, I think. When I was little, around my 10th year, I was once in a pool with a hard water jet underwater. I held my vagina against it, or actually slightly higher in the direction of my lower abdomen, and I suddenly got a very special feeling. But at the same time, it felt uncomfortable. The rest of the day, I only wanted to swim around the water jet. Later, I found out that it had something to do with my clitoris. I've never talked about masturbation with my parents, even though we talk about sex. It's a bit strange, actually. I don't really need masturbation. I find it a strange activity. When someone reads a book, I think, oh, I want that too. I relate that to something positive. But if someone says I was alone and I masturbated this morning, I find it uncomfortable and a bit pathetic too. I also felt a bit pathetic when I tried it myself. I don't have a powerful feeling with it, whereas I can spend hours with myself in the bathtub, but that feels very different. Then I just relax, and it's an evening with myself. I think I have had the period to try it out and figure it out, but I can let go of that now. If it doesn't suit me, then it just doesn't suit. At the same time, I still think that it could be good for me, since it's a very natural form of being with yourself and being relaxed. But I struggle with doing things that are inefficient. It feels like I'm wasting time. When I occasionally smoke a joint, this feeling can disappear, and then I can have a nice evening with myself. Smoking can help me to relax and feel calm, and then I can sometimes touch my body. I undress myself in front of the mirror. That gets me a bit excited, but I never go further than that. Since I've researched a lot about the menstrual cycle, I also know when I am in my ovulation and when I am much more in the mood for sex. I notice through this that I am looking for contact with boys much more. If I have the idea to masturbate, it is also always during my ovulation. Now, with my boyfriend, I also feel that sex is very nice and that it really fits together. He's very open about it, and he finds it interesting that I do not masturbate. I might be able to discover with him how it feels to masturbate. Together, we can try out how I can do it alone. I feel that I know what I like about sex. And I also certainly do not like some things. I will also never do those things. I just can't. I do not adapt myself to that, and I stay strong to my own feelings.